I just killed them, but not crickets. Because of Pinocchio. Jiminy will haunt me. So you kill them, okay? Oh, right now, my husband Alan is killing them. Alan, how's it going down there? Honey, I love you. No, not you. Oh, you better hurry. I live at 24 Oak Drive in Demarest, New Jersey. Well, I know you're a Brooklyn exterminators, but my husband and I just moved to the suburbs from Brooklyn, and you're the only bud zappers we know. Oh, please come. Oh, can you hold? I'm getting another call. Hello? Oh, Mom, I can't talk to you now. No, the baby's not here yet. No, Mom, I'll call you another time. I'm on the other line. I'll call you back. Hello, I'm back. Oh, good, you will come? Good. So I live in New Jersey. Yeah, you know that place past the George Washington Bridge, everybody's first cousins, you married your mother, you got no front teeth? That's right, New Jersey. Okay, hurry, bye. Okay, now, what I have to do here? Oh, okay, I'll get it. Hello? Oh, Martha. Nah, the kid's not here yet. Oh, sis, I am such a city girl. Martha, I am so unhappy in the suburbs. Well, because the burbs have just too much friggin' nature. Martha, you know me, I don't understand nature. I only understand concrete and asphalt. And the beasts, Martha, they're roaming wild, everywhere. Yes? Raccoon, skunk, squirrel. Listen to me, I don't want to see an animal unless it's in a cage or in the meat department of the AFP. But enough about me. How are you? Well, Martha, if you're so unhappy, then get out of your wheelchair. You can. What, you getting another call? Good, go. I got on pack anyway. Okay, I'll call you later. Bye. Okay, now, what do I got here? Kitchen stuff. Oh, just a minute. Coming. Hello? Mom? No, the baby's not here yet. Mom, I said I'll call you. Yes, I promise. No, Alan can't come to the phone. He's in the basement, killing. Mom, I gotta get off. I'll call you back. I promise. Bye. All right, my mother. She drives me nuts. Oh, my parents are so wacky, but what do you want? They're from Korea. They came to America right after the war. They first met back in Korea, but they were just friends. My mother didn't want to be married to a poor chaplain. She had her hopes for a rich American. Yoko Ono is her hero. My father came to America first to study religion in Chicago, and then my mother came to study art at the University of Texas. Dad was the only one my mother knew in America, so she wrote to him. Dear John. Oh, John is my father's American name. I run out of money, but if I go back to Korea without the education or husband, I will be shameful failure. So my father wrote back to my mother, Dear Joyce, pack your bag and the borrow money for a one-way bus ticket to Chicago, where I have a job waiting for you. So at the bus depot in Chicago, my mother asked, "Oh, what job is waiting for me?" My father said, "Your job is to be my wife." Exactly 9 months later, I was born. And their honeymoon baby. I was born half in and half out of the car. My mom goes into labor, and my father's driving her, and my head pops out. My mom's screaming, "Aiku, and she's shoving me back in. At the hospital room, she's limping into the emergency room with my head dangling down her leg. The placenta comes out, and my father says, "Don't just throw anything away." He wants to sit through it to make sure they're not throwing away the wrong thing. Oh, I never appreciated that side of my mother's story till now. Right, kiddo? Hi, I'm due today. Oh, excuse me. I gotta take my medication. It's for my handicap. I have familial dystonia. It's a neurological disease thing. Without medication, I'm flailing, I'm rocking back and forth. Oh, it's not a pretty sight. But through the miracle of drugs and acting like I'm normal, I can function. Oh, I was born with dystonia. I couldn't walk until I was 4 years old. Oh, just a minute. Again, I'm so popular. Hello? Mom. No, not yet. Uh-huh. Well, yeah, I said my father could baptize the kids, so stop torturing me already. All right, I'll call you. I promise. Bye. Oh, by the way, I say that I'm Oriental, not Asian. All my life I was happy to be Oriental. When one day somebody tells me I'm Asian because I'm not a rug, I know that. Nobody invited me to that meeting when they changed the title. To me, Asian includes India, Turkey, Iran. I'm Oriental, from the Orient. Some young Asians said to me that the word Oriental represents the derogatory meaning of other people stereotyping us as being doctors, geniuses in math and science, and sex objects. This is bad. Anyway, growing up in the 60s, this wasn't even an issue. As a matter of fact, I never even considered myself Korean. Mainly because I lived in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood in Flushing, Queens. And also, even though my father's church was there were hardly any Koreans in the neighborhood, so I didn't have any Korean friends. My parents never even taught us to learn the Korean language until the 70s, when immigration opened, and all of a sudden there were hundreds of thousands of Koreans everywhere, like cockroaches. And everybody speaking Korean, and my father decides he made a mistake not teaching us the language, so he puts me in Korean language school, and I'm humiliated, because I'm 3 years past puberty, and everybody else is just 3. And I can't keep up, so I rebel. I refuse to learn the language, and the Koreans say to me, "Why do you shame your parents by not speaking Korean? They should have beat you." Oh, well, thanks for that. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, please. Anyway, now my father is a very famous Korean Presbyterian minister. Actually, he's the Billy Graham of Korean Presbyterian ministers. Unfortunately, he's not as articulate as Billy Graham is. Billy Graham you can understand. My father, nobody understands. Here's his sermon on Adam and Eve. And the God said to a man and the woman, "Don't eat the fruits in the middle of a garden." But they do. And the God said, "아이고, 이놈 개집에 왜 맹꽁입니까?" That's certainly one version of Genesis. Anyway, still, Koreans respect my father like he's the Pope. They call him Dr. the Most Divine Reverend John Ye-Wan Pak. He makes no money, but he's got a great title. And the Koreans give him such great honor. Anytime they greet my father, they're walking down the street, la-da-da-da-da. It's like, "백 목사님, 안녕하십니까, 백예원 목사님. 아이고, 백 목사님, 저는 맹꽁이입니다. 아이고, 백 목사님, 저는 바보입니다. 아이고, 백 목사님, 안녕하십니까." Oh, I can't believe I'm pregnant. I'm lying on the floor. Oh, and when they leave, it's the same thing, only backwards. Oh, I go, 백목사님, 아이고, 백목사님, 어떠세요? 참 맛이 좋아요. 아이고, 백목사님. 안녕하세요, 백목사님. And then my father looked at me like I should do the same thing. I would never do that. Not for any man. All right, I'll do it for Mel Gibson, but nobody else. Still, growing up in my father's church was a laugh riot. My father always pointed with his middle finger. To him, this meant this. And he never understood why the kids laughed at him when he taught Sunday school. If you are a Christian, where do you go after you die? That's right, heaven. I think pointing with your middle finger is a Korean thing. Anyway, one Christmas we were in church all day, and a little past midnight, the old guy sitting at the other end of the pew lays a huge fart. It sounds like a bassoon. I'm stifling a huge laugh, and my father says, God hates the sinner. It is a holy house who wants to sit still to hear the word of a God. Esther! Now, mind you, my father, the minister, never curses or swears, but he still mixes up the P and the F sounds. The other day, he parked the car on the street, and he walked up to an officer. Oh, excuse, officer, can I fuck my car here? One day we went to see Saturday Night Fever, and my father asked me, Esther, what's the meaning fuck you? Is it like son of a bitchy? Anyway, in my dad's church in Flushing, Queens, the local American congregation met in the morning, and around 3 p.m., the Korean congregation met. And sometimes both congregations got together for special occasions. Why? Because the Koreans spoke no English, the Americans spoke no Korean, and the Americans would bring American food, and the Koreans would bring spicy kimchi, which is like Korean sauerkraut or pickled gas. Trust me, you don't eat this on a first date. And we'd all try to share, but kimchi just doesn't go well with Jell-O mold. And of course, Korean food is very delicious, but it causes major gas, and sometimes you just gotta let it out. Which to the Koreans is a major compliment to the chef and hostess. And the Korean men would eat big and talk big and go, 아이고, Mr. Kim, 참 맛이 좋아요. 물고기 많이 주세요. 많이 기쁩니다. And the Korean women would go, they love my food, they love me. Now this always made such a marvelous impression on the white people congregation. Anyway, every Sunday my father would ask his congregation, everybody, let's ask Jesus into our hearts together. And people would be fainting in the pews. People would be screaming that they felt him. And there I was, really trying to have Christ come into my heart. But it never did in my father's church. And every Sunday I would ask my father all these questions. Okay, Dad, so Jesus was born. Was he Jewish? He sounds Jewish to me. Oh, no. Jesus was a Christian. Well, where did Jesus go from the time he was 13 to the time he started preaching? And the Last Supper, that sounds a lot like a Jewish Seder to me. Oh, no. We are not the Jewishy here. Esther, why don't you go watch a TV? Anyway, if it sounds like it was hard growing up with him, then there's my mother, the Oriental Tammy Faye Baker. Most of the clown gave her makeup lessons. Kabuki players think she puts on too much makeup. Oh, my mother. God love her. Sometimes she's just so not here. Because she's way out there. I ever thought if you put my mother's brain in a bird, the bird would fly backwards. You know, the other day my mother comes up to me, she says, oh, Esther, I'm so upset. Next door neighbor said Korean eat the dog. I said, Mom, why are you so upset? You always told me that Koreans eat dog. Yeah, but we don't eat just any dog. So I said, okay, Ma, you won't eat Fluffy, you eat Spot, you eat dog. And the woman answers me the way she answers every argument she's losing. Why you don't just say yes? To what? Finally, my mother explains to me, Esther, you only eat a certain kind of a dog, not the dog, not the purebred dog, because $700 for a purebred dog, that's too much for Andre. Well, I guess like everybody else in Korea during the war, my mother ate anything because she was starving. And she'd always try to tell me how she suffered in the Korean War. Oh, my life was so bad. So I'd say, okay, Ma, tell me about the war in Korea. Oh, somebody should have written a book of my story. It was so terrible. Oh, and that was it, wailing for hours. This is why I don't know anything about my mother's history in Korea. Still, my mother is the perfect Korean wife because she has Korean feminine virtue. Suffer, suffer, suffer. Take it, take it, take it. Especially if it's the man's fault. The Korean thing. I have it too. This is good. In every Korean soap opera, especially the ones that take place in feudal times, the storyline is always the same. Korean girl meets boy, girl gets raped by boy, gets pregnant, is outcast from Korean village, doesn't tell boy or village what happens to her, and dies a miserable death. And the Korean audience goes, oh, this is a so good Korean movie. I love this movie. Oh, she's a so good Korean girl. She's a so suffer. Korean feminine virtue. Suffer, suffer. Oh, just a minute. I'm coming. Coming. Hello? Ma. Can you disturb me for 1 minute? You disturb me all the time. Yes, Mom, I had triplets. No, Mom, not yet. I'll call you back. Bye. Oh, one day I'm going to write a comedy routine. Crush my donut, my donut. Get that immigrant. Yes, I'm calling you all the time. Mom, not yet! Oh, God. Ah, what a surprise. Yeah, I'm still pregnant. Yeah, he's due today. Yeah, I know. Who would ever have thought I'd be having a baby? Yeah, 5 other people from high school called already. Oh, you gotta go? I understand. Business before pleasure? Okay, call me later. Okay, bye. Goodbye. My oldest friend from high school, Doug. Oh, high school was so great. Because high school was when I came out of the closet. I said to my father, Dad, I think there's something you should know about me. I'm Jewish. My father said, Esther, Sidor, Yujik. All right, I wasn't really Jewish, but I wanted to be. Mainly because I went to a predominantly Jewish high school, Francis Lewis. I called it Francis Jewish. And also, back in 7th grade, Evie Cronenberger had her bat mitzvah, and I went. And it was the most powerful, the most moving religious experience for me. You know, in Korean society, a kid is nothing, but here, Evie's whole family was celebrating her. Her mother was crying, her father was crying, and I had never seen my father cry. It was the strangest thing, because even though I was Oriental and Christian, the energy just went right through me. I really felt the power of the room. And ever since that day, I just knew I had a Jewish soul. Anyway, back in high school, I was the only kid in the Jewish culture club. No Jews, just me and Mrs. DiFrancesco. And I was in every honors class, I performed in every school show, I did every extra credit activity. But I was in the handicap homeroom because of my dystonia, which is something my sister Martha and I have in common. You know, by the time my sisters Mary and Joan were born, the doctors discovered that my sister Martha, my second sister, was also disabled with dystonia. A less severe case than mine, but still a problem. Anyway, twice a month, my mother would take me and Martha to Columbia Presbyterian Hospital for checkups. And on the bus and subway, my mother would say to me and Martha, I'm so suffer. I cannot believe I have no car and have to go so far with the 4 little girls. I don't want this. If we were to Korea, you would be drowned in the river. And I know that if we were in Korea, Martha and I would be dead. because where they came from, that was a way of saving handicapped children from a life of pain. You know, my handicap may have been painful, but it was nothing compared to living with my parents. Trust me, drowning in the river would have been Disneyland. But even then I said, we live in America. This is your job. We're sick. We have to go. And it would take us forever to get to the clinic by 10 a.m. And we wouldn't see a doctor until 4 p.m. And no doctor ever found a problem. But it was there. Oh, it was so difficult for me to do anything physical. Do you know in sports, that person that got picked last when choosing teams? I was behind that person. Helen Keller always got picked before me. Oh, and back then people called me handicapped. Today I'm called physically challenged. Physically challenged. 6 syllables. Handicapped is 3. Do the math. Which one would you choose? Every time something is politically correct, it becomes longer. Pacific Asian American. This is better than Oriental? I'm handicapped, I don't have time. Anyway, back then, even though my parents knew Martha and I needed wheelchairs, they decided not to get us them. I think my father was embarrassed of our handicaps, and because of his prominent position, he didn't want anybody else to know. I also think he thought that if he forced us to walk, we would gain strength. And if he disciplined us, he could scare us into walking. Oh, it was fabulous for our Korean feminine virtue. But anyway, by the time I get to high school, I'm in the wheelchair all the time. Eventually, I had 5 wheelchairs. Depending on what outfit I wore, that was the color wheelchair I wore. Oh, my poor father would always ask me, why can't you be like all other girls and justify pocket the book? I say, Dad, if I have to be handicapped, I'm going to be fashionably handicapped. Hoo-wee! Well, you know, I like to kid about it, but I really hate the wheelchair. I mean, this Korean feminine virtue stuff really sucks. I may have had wheelchairs in designer colors, but it still wasn't a good fashion accessory. And I begin to hate handicap homeroom. I hated that the teachers call me handy-capable. I hated that they call my wheelchair my enabling chair. And I really hated that people call me plump. I preferred Rubenesque, Oriental beauty. But I'm real unhappy. Not just because I don't want to be handicapped, but because, oh, I really want a boyfriend. And I have a mad crush on Robert Levine. Ooh, he was tall, dark, and handsome. Not to mention smart, able-bodied, and Jewish. I'm in a wheelchair. He doesn't notice me. So, I decide to lose some weight. I get rid of the wheelchair. Ooh. Now, most people don't have to think about walking, they just walk. I have to learn to walk by letting my body fall and forcing my legs to catch up. Now, in my imagination, I think I look like the Roadrunner, swift and sleek. But in reality, I know I look more like the Elephant Man. I am not handicapped. I am not handicapped. And I see my father is looking at me. I can sense he wants to help me, but nothing. And I'm hurt and confused. Years later, my mother told me that as a child, my father was also handicapped. He had a very weak heart. And he knew how hard you had to struggle just to get by. I think he followed Nietzsche's idea that what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Well, I was getting stronger, but it was killing me. Mom also said that my father could see what a burden I felt I was. He just didn't know how to make it better for me. Well, a nice piece of jewelry could have helped. Or a Lamborghini. Wheelchair accessible, of course. But anyway, there I am, out of the wheelchair. And I'm standing real close to Robert Levine. Ooh, and I'm getting goose chills, and I'm hoping he'll take me to the school prom. Now, you would think that all this would make my parents thrilled to death, but my mother is complaining that I still have an ugly walk, and my father decides to discipline me into walking better. And for some reason, he decides to discipline me for just about everything else. Esther, it's rain outside. Whack! Esther, dinosaur, all dead. Bang! Esther, they impeached Nixon. Whack! And if I got 95 on a test, he'd say, why couldn't you get the 100? Chop! And if I got 100, he'd say, must have been easy test. You talk about your Korean tough love. They love that take it all because I got Korean feminine virtue, and also because I'm 14. Where else am I going to go? But I become so confused, and I go to my mother to complain, and my mother says, Esther, of course your father beat you. That's how he shows how much he loves you. I said, are you telling me that if my father hated me, he would kiss and hug me? Yeah, that's a Korean way. Mama, we live in America. Esther, just to say yes. Anyway, watching Oprah, I learned that sharing your pain makes you feel better. So I talked to all my white people friends. I said, oh, I didn't get 100 on my math test, so, you know, my father hit me last night. You got hit too, right? And every one of them said, no. Ooh. How about those Mets, huh? See, I thought that getting beat up was a part of growing up, like pimples. But then I think maybe not. Because it's only Martha and me getting hit. Joan and Mary hardly ever do. And I start to believe that I'm bad, and that all parents of handicapped kids hate their disabled children for being handicapped. But then I noticed that when the handicapped bus brings us home from school, all the other parents are hugging and kissing their handicapped kids. But not mine. Robert Levine doesn't seem to love me either. So I decide to fantasize. I decide to lose myself in TV. I fantasize that I am a central character in a TV series with a hero who always stays her. But soon I become disillusioned with TV. Because anytime my father hits me, no hero ever comes. And also because mid-season on Bewitched, they switched the dicks. I like the original dick. And then I found out that the second dick is gay. You know, you just can't count on TV. So I begin to rely on myself. I become my own hero. I said to myself, I'll show you, Dad. I'm tough. Screw my wounded inner child. Long live my inner bitch. Now, see my defined behavior. My father decides it's time for my sex and drug talk. Here was my drug talk. Esther, don't do the drug. No drug. No drug. Well, this is good. See, because of my dystonia, I am taking drugs stronger than you can get on any street corner. And they're worried about me smoking pot. And because the doctors give them to me, my parents don't think they're drugs. Trust me, I was doing the big drug. Now here's my sex talk. Esther, never hold a hand with a boy. You'll get the pregnant. And don't just sit in the backseat of a car with a boy. You'll get the pregnant. And I'm looking at my hand and I'm trying to figure it out. Anytime I touch a boy's hand, I panic that I'm pregnant. But you know where I was when I finally did get pregnant? In the front seat of the car with Alan, screwing my brains out, handcuffed to the steering wheel. But I never sat in the back seat of the car and I never held his hand. Me? Hello? Oh, hi, Dr. Geller. No, the baby's not here yet. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, thanks for the medication. Oh, my sister Martha? Well, you know, she's not doing so well. Yeah, Dr. Geller, do you think you could talk to her about her weight? And do you think you could talk to her about getting out of the wheelchair? Yeah, she doesn't listen to me. Okay, thanks. Yeah, okay, I'll call you when the baby's here. Okay, bye. Oh, this is my Dr. Geller. He gave me my life. He was the first person to diagnose my disability and the first doctor to give me the right medication so I can walk. He made me believe that I could do anything. This is why I love him. Oh, in college, I had such a terrible crush on Dr. Geller. I still do. He's very sexy to me. If Willie Nelson married George Carlin and had a baby, you'd get Dr. Geller. You know, when he got a divorce, I said, Dr. Geller, if I'd only known, I would have waited. I really love my husband, but he's no Dr. Geller. But anyway, so where was I? Oh, high school. So high school's almost over, and it's time for me to apply to colleges. I want to go to either NYU or Vassar. My father says, don't go to NYU. It stands for Now You Unemployed. So I said, what about Vassar, Dad? He says, no. Don't you know who go to the Vassar? Who? the lesbian. I want you to go to the best cottage of royalty. I said, Dad, are you saying that I can go to King's College of England? No. Queen's Cottage of Flushing. Which is where I end up. And throughout college, my mom and I were sitting in the kitchen arguing about my moving out. Esther, why you always want to move out? Go to Korean girl, stay house until married. When you start going like a crazy girl, when you start speaking grammatically correct, you know move out. I yes move out. Why you know listen? Why you know use preposition? And then my mother changes tactics. Esther, I want you to move out, but when you are a somebody. Now, ever since I was a little girl, my mother always told me that she wanted me to be a somebody. I always thought she meant for me to be successful, like her. She's a successful artist. I said, Mom, I'm in college, I'm working, I'm an independent woman, I'm a somebody. And my mother says, no, I want you to be a Mrs. Somebody. I'm moving out. And what does the lady say? Just to say yes. Still, at 21, like it or not, I move out of my parents' house and into a really cool apartment. And my mother screams, why are you so crazy? But that's her song. Actually, that's her favorite song. Crazy, crazy for being so horrible. Lonely? I'm not lonely. I'm out on my own and I am loving it. But then the medication stops working. The tremors start. I'm flailing. I'm so tense from the tremors, my muscles become hard like stone. I gotta move back home. Bummer. I become totally paralyzed. I have to go to the emergency room. I'm in the hospital for 3 months. The medications are the strongest that they can give me and they're not working. Oh, I'm beyond needing a wheelchair. The doctors tell my parents I'm dying. Late one evening, I hear my father praying. He asks God to take me because he can't take the suffering. I'm the one who's dying and he can't take the suffering. Well, I guess he's giving up on me. He's finally throwing me in the river. Now I'm ready to go. But not because I want to die, but because I want to give God a piece of my mind. I said, God, first you give me this handicap, then you give me these parents, and now I'm dying. What kind of joke is this? Well, God, I'm coming now, and when I get there, watch out! That's when I start to get better. The doctor said, oh, what great doctors we are. We found the right drugs to make Esther better. But I know I got better because God was afraid I kicked his butt. Anyway, so my wacky father, who had just given up on me, decides to thank Jesus for saving me by arranging to marry me off to a boy from his communist North Korean village, Pyeongan-pukdo. This is the reward for living. But after all this, I'm tired of taking care of myself. I want somebody else to take care of me. And my self-esteem is so low, I say to my father, okay, Dad, arrange a marriage. I'll marry anybody. So my father gets Han-sung from Korea, who comes over, and he looks like my father. I pass him off to Martha. Let her suffer, suffer, suffer. But Martha likes him. So Han-sung winds up with Martha. Han-sung marries Martha, gets his green card, dumps her, and ruins my sister's life. Time passes, and another marriage is arranged to Owen. And I agree to marry Owen because I would be a doctor's wife. Owen writes me letters from Korea, in Korean, and my mother translates. Dear Esther, how are you? Oh, Esther, he's so romantic. I go, Mom, what am I missing here? Still, I'm about to accept the marriage when I find out that Owen's medical license is no good in America. He's no longer a doctor. He's not even a nurse. He's just Korean. Get lost. I dump Owen. My father loses all his hair. Then he arranges a third marriage to George, a son of a really wealthy investment banker. George likes me. He really likes me. He's buying me lots of stuff, and I'm happy. Then I meet Alan. On Alan's birthday, Christmas Day, he invites me over to his apartment. Ooh, it's beautifully decorated. Alan's beautifully dressed. I figured he's gay. But then he kisses me. We have wild animal sex all night. My toothbrush moves in the next day. I want to marry Alan, but first I gotta catch him. This is how I do it. I become my idol, Doris Day. Doris K. Sarate. Oh God, I loved her. I wanted her blonde helmet hair. I used to take a yellow t-shirt and put it over my hair and make believe I had it too. Nothing disturbed that hair, not even hurricanes. It was the hairspray. I bet you took 20 cans of Aquanet to keep this hair in place. Doris Day is the reason we have a hole in the ozone layer today. But I wanted that hair. Oh, and her vibrato. Whatever will be. And I'd serve Alan his dinner cooked from scratch, and I'd say my best impression, darling, can I get you anything? And Alan would say to me, Esther, are you doing all this to get me to marry you? And I'd say, what will be, will be. 1 week later, still no proposal. So I say to Alan, either marry me or get out. So Alan leaves. 2 minutes later, my telephone rings and rings. I won't pick it up. All of a sudden, Alan breaks down the door to my apartment building. Then he breaks down the door to my apartment, and he says to me, Esther, I'll marry you because the thought of you with another man is too painful for me to bear. Good answer. Good answer. And I say to Alan, but where's the ring, buddy? Alan says he'll surprise me. And my $95 diamond ship engagement ring really surprises me. But I'm going to be a Mrs. Somebody. A Mrs. Unemployed Jewish Carpenter Somebody. And when my father found out about this, he screamed, I never heard there was such a thing. I said, what then? You never heard of a Jew and a Korean falling in love? He said, no. I never heard of a Jewish and unemployed. Same sentence. See, Daddy was violently opposed to this marriage, not because he was thinking about my happiness, but because what do people think about my prestige? I mean, it's a wrong religion, it's a wrong color, wrong height, wrong eye, wrong nose, wrong everything, and the Jewish and the unemployed? And I'm crying, but I love him. My father doesn't care. My mother said, I have a dog, but I eat the dog for lunch. So finally I said, Dad, your boss was an unemployed Jewish carpenter born on Christmas Day. Alan is an unemployed Jewish carpenter born on Christmas Day. Now my father's all excited because he thinks he's going to be the father-in-law of the Messiah. And my mother is ecstatic because I'm going to be Mrs. Messiah. So it's all set and I show my mother the ring. And immediately she becomes hysterical. Esther! You lost the diamond! I said, no, Ma, it's there. Where? There, Ma. Where? There, look. Oh. Oh. Alan's so chip. Now, knowing my father, Alan and I assumed that our wedding will take place in my father's church because it would be free. All of a sudden, Alan's father, Herman, who hadn't been in temple in 15 years and never gave Alan a bar mitzvah even, decides he's a religious Orthodox Jew. Herman says to me, Esther, it's not me, it's Mama. If you get married in church, she won't come. Well, okay, Dad, then we'll get married in temple. Are you crazy? My father was a little annoyed. I am top Korean minister. I say yes, and when you get the lead of a wealthy millionaire Oriental to marry Caucasian Jew, but then now you want to get them married in the temple? I say no. Tradition, tradition. So Alan and I decided to get married in a very non-sectarian Quaker meeting hall. My father insists that he marry us. He's got to be the bride at every wedding, the corpse at every funeral. And my wedding day is such a circus. To make sure my father would say the right thing, Alan and I write our wedding service. It said, you may wonder why I, a Korean Presbyterian minister, am marrying my daughter to a Caucasian Jew. But my father read it, you may wonder why I, Korean Presbyterian minister, am marrying my daughter to Caucasian Jew. J-O-O. And that becomes the catchphrase for the rest of the evening. And my father is constantly dividing us. Okay, Korean over here, and the Caucasian Jew over here. We're never together all night. Okay, Korean, you dancing here, and the Caucasian Jew, you dancing here. Oh, Korean, you eat the Korean food here, and the Caucasian Jew eat the bread here. I'm trying to bring everybody together. But my mother says, oh, no, Korean over here, Caucasian Jew here. And when my mother meets people, they ask her, oh, what does Esther's husband do? And my mother says, oh, he's an architect. I said, Mom, Alan's not an architect. He's a carpenter. To say he's an architect is a lie. I'm not a lie. I just to make better. That's what a lie is. Just to say yes. Anyway, so for our honeymoon, even though I can't swim because of my handicap, Alan and I take a canoe trip down the Delaware through the rapids. And I'm thrown overboard into the rapids. And I'm going down the Delaware drowning, holding onto the oar that I had just put a $10 deposit on. And people in the background are screaming, let go of the oar, let go of the oar. And I feel like screaming, but I want my $10 deposit back. And I can hear Alan in the distance screaming, I have you, Esther, I have you. And he grabs me by the hair and he pulls me up. And the rangers come and they put me on a rock. And I say, this is the greatest adventure I ever had in my life. Let's go back into the canoe. Let's finish the ride. Alan says, are you insane? I said, no, let's finish it. Let's go back. You see, I'm scared, but that fear becomes my energy. I realize that I got to use it to help me get the things I want. Like this baby. Oh, I still can't believe I'm pregnant. You know, after 5 miscarriages, I thought this was God's way of saying, Esther, adopt a puppy. See, when I was 21, the doctors told me that because of my handicap and all the medications I'm taking, I could never get pregnant. I could never have children. So I was just happy without them. I didn't even think about having children. But here I am. But you know, every time the baby moves inside of me, I mean, most women are happy, but I'm scared. Because I'm terrified I'll give birth to a vegetable. Oh my gosh, my water broke. Oh, Alan, this is it. Oh, little Isaac, you're coming out. Oh, we decided to name him Isaac. My parents objected. I said, why? Esther, Isaac in Korean means son of a bitchy. Great town. So I said, okay, George, I like the name George. They said, no, Esther, George in the Korean means penis. This coming from the same people who gave my sister the Korean name. You suck! party again. Oh, animals. My friends are all animals. See, when a Korean kid is 100 days old, we give them a big party. This is for my second kid, Jacob. Oh, and everybody was here. And people were stealing my things. They asked if they could have my stuff. I said no. They took them anyway. Oh, I hate people. Oh, and then the Feldman children came over and took a pair of chopsticks and stuck them in the birdcage and murdered the bird. And then Donna Montefort, the mafia princess, her baby Tiffany lays a big duty on the pasta table. So I say, in order to be nice, I say, Donna, would you like to do that upstairs? She says, no, the buffet's fine. Hey, yes, the manja. What am I doing in the suburbs? And this baby thing is crazy. Isaac's 3 already. Can you believe this? Oh, you should have been there at the birth. My parents were in the labor room with me. My father said, I am minister. My daughter is pregnant and a handicap. She might die in the labor, and I want to give her last rights. Oh, he's so pragmatic. And then my mother's praying the typical Korean prayer. God, please don't let the baby be born dead. Please don't make a baby retarded. Please, can baby be medical doctor? So after a few hours of this, Alan says, gee, I'm hungry. Why don't I go downstairs to get something to eat? And my mother says, oh no, don't do. I got the chicken here. Whoosh! From her pocketbook comes a flaming roasted chicken. Alan says, no, I'm not in the mood for chicken. Oh, it's okay. I got the roasted beef. Whoosh! Hot roast. Alan says, do you got a tuna fish sandwich in there? No. That's what I want. So he goes down and he gets it, and he eats it in my face, just as the labor is getting bad. And Alan's saying, it's okay, Esther, you can do it, you can do it. The smell of a sandwich is making me nauseous and I'm gonna hurt. Tuna fish shrapnel is hitting me in the eye. At this point, my father asked the doctor to recommend an institution to put the baby in case it's born retarded. The doctor throws him out of the hospital. And after 20 hours later, oh, the pain is so bad. I insist on a C-section. I asked the doctor what they did before C-section. She said the women died. I figured they died gladly. Oh, and in the operating room, the room is so cold. The harsh lights hurt my eyes. And I feel the movement of hands inside my belly. But then everybody shouts with joy. My baby cries. Oh, he's beautiful. Oh, hello. We fall in love. I say to myself, I'm going to raise him to be a great man. I'm not going to mess him up like my parents did me. And then it occurred to me that my parents may have said the same thing when I was newborn. So when Isaac started talking, he'd say no to everything. And at first it drove me crazy. But then I learned to ask the right questions. Isaac, are you ever going to do drugs? No. Isaac, are you going to be a bum when you grow up? No. Isaac, is mommy fat? No. Now that Isaac's 3, he's still driving me crazy. He keeps messing up the house and I keep cleaning up after him. But finally yesterday, I became so furious with him, I started paddling his butt. But I wound up beating him almost senseless. Just like my father did me, and his father to him, and his father down the line. And finally I stopped. I said no more. From now on, I will not strike my children. From my hands will only come loving touches. From my mouth will only come words of love. Well, anyway, when Jacob was born, I was thrilled to become a mommy again, even though I have to have another C-section. Oh, and the procedure is long. Finally, he comes out, and he cries. But then he won't shut up. Alice says he's beautiful. He looks like a toad. His nostrils are so wide, they look like the entrance to the Lincoln Tunnel. He has no neck. Oh, is he ugly? But he's my wonderful, ugly baby. Anyway, last week, I had Isaac and Jacob baptized to please my father. And at the dinner after the baptism, my father asked all the Korean women what they wanted for next year. And every single one of them said the same thing. Oh, next year I want the son, like Esther. She's so lucky. She got the two boy. I want to be like her. And everybody clapped and said, oh, good answer, good answer. See, the Koreans want the boy. I guess in Korean tradition, I'm big news because I didn't mar my father's name with a girl. I had two sons, two peanuts. No coochie, huh? I gave my culture two peanuts. My mother even says I'm better than she is because I had sons, she only had daughters. I said to my mother, Mom, do you love me less because I'm a girl? Would you love my sons less if they were girls? My mother said, no, but the boy better, the peanuts. What a silly world. I think boys better than girls, or Christianity better than Judaism, or Buddhism, or believing in the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. I said to my father the other day that Christianity was the same as communism. They're both nice ideas, but they both don't work. Never say that to a minister, especially one who suffered under communist rule. I mean, but I've always questioned everything. Like whenever my father preaches about Jesus feeding the masses with 5 loaves of bread and 3 fishes, I'd say, Dad, let's face it, Jesus was Jewish. So the bread was bagels and the fish was lox. The miracle was somebody brought cream cheese. And my father would say, Esther, please, run away from home. Hello? Oh, Martha. Martha, what's wrong? Martha, please stop crying. I can't understand you. Slow down. Oh, Martha, you do not have nothing. No, I don't have everything. You have. You have Elaine. You have your daughter. So he loved you. So lose weight. You can. Oh, please, Martha, stop blaming everybody else. What? How can you say that? Martha, I am so handicapped. Well, I know I don't look it. I work hard not to look it, but it's there always. How can you of all people say that to me? Oh, please, Martha. You are not even as handicapped as I am, and I am not 300 pounds and severely diabetic. No, sister, I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the situation because I kill myself to look normal because I don't want anybody else to see my disability, because I don't want to burden them with it. No, I do believe in you, Martha. You know that. Trust me, you'll get over this. Oh, Martha, you don't think if I had a magic pill, I wouldn't take it? What? All right, then. Okay. Go lie down and rest. All right, I'll call you in half an hour. I love you too. Bye. Do you know what I wish, God? I wish that just for a while, Martha could have my life and I can have hers. Because I know I can get out of her life. Let us switch. Let me do it. I know I could just take this fire inside of me and light her right up and... Oh, I don't know. You know, for a while now, I've been searching for something I've never found in church or therapy. The other day, I walked into a Jewish temple and I poured out my soul to the rabbi. The rabbi asked me if I knew what rabbi meant. I thought it meant what reverend meant, divine. He said, no, there's no divinity here. Rabbi just means teacher. I'm a man, no more. In Judaism, you have to work your butt off to make your heaven here. You know, ever since Evie Cronenberger had her bat mitzvah, and I felt the power of room, and I discovered my Jewish soul, I always felt like making a change. And my chat with Rabbi Reeder has given me the courage to do something about it. I think I'm going to convert. Ooh, how am I going to tell my father, the minister? Ooh, and my mother. Although I know what my mother would say. Why are you so crazy, girl? But that's my life. Crazy. And that's still her favorite song. Crazy, crazy for feeling so lonely. Crazy for feeling so blue. Crazy. converting? Simple. I didn't. Oh, we've been arguing a lot. And if he does find out, it's because you all told him. Although, you know, I realized that my mother, the minister's wife, has a Korean name that should be mine. Me, Jew. Anyway, so last week everybody's over at my house. Everybody except my parents because, you know, we've been fighting. And I haven't seen them, especially my father, in a while. And I know his chingap is coming up, his big 70th birthday celebration. Very traditional. But thank God no one said anything about it to me because I don't want to go. Anyway, it's after dinner and I'm sitting on the couch eating Twinkies when all of a sudden the doorbell rings. And surprise, it's my parents. And immediately my mom comes up to me and says, "Oh, Esther, your faces are so fat. You've gained weight." I don't see you for all this time and your face is fat is the first thing you say to me? Esther, be vegetarian. Eat lots of carrots. Lose the weight. And immediately Isaac comes to my rescue. "Oh, Mom, you're not fat. It's just water." "Oh, Isaac, I just love you." And then Jake chimes in. "Mommy, you're so thin. Where are you? You're so thin, I can't see you." Tell me I don't have the greatest children. And in the middle of all this, my father, the Reverend, interrupts and says, "Esther, this is how you honor me at the my chinga. You sing this hymn." "No, I'm not going to sing that hymn." Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, yes, this is a much better hymn." "No, I'm not going to sing any song." "Why not?" "I'm not going to be there." "Oh, yes, you're going to be there. There are two things in your life you show up no matter what. Chingap and a funeral." I said, "Well, I'll definitely be at your funeral." "Just to come to Chingap." And he turns to leave. Translation, "Wife, let's go. My evil daughter is making me angry." And she gets up to leave. And my dad turns around and says, "Everybody wants to come to my chingap except the one person. Who can that be?" Everybody enemy except the one person. I go now. All come to chingap. Keep Korean tradition. I go, "Dad, have you ever heard of the word ask?" "I never have to ask anybody. They just to come. You just to come." And then he exits. And my mother just turns around with sorrow in her eyes. See, in the Korean culture, the chingap is the big 70th birthday party. Very important. It's bigger than a 50th anniversary. It's bigger than a wedding. It's bigger than birth. Because you lived. And now my entire family's come from everywhere to celebrate my father's chingap. But because I'm having an argument with him, I refuse to go. And my Aunt Janet is in town for the big event. And so she decides to come over to my house to spend the evening with me and the kids and to convince me to go. She waits until bedtime to bring it up. "Oh, Esther, you are my favorite at the knees. You're so good a girl. So you come to chingap, okay?" "Well, I'm sorry, Aunt Janet, I can't. We're not speaking." "Esther, you break your father's heart. You must honor him." "Well, Aunt Chino, to tell you the truth, I really would love to go, but without making up, I can't." And then I changed the topic. "Aunt Chino, you are so beautiful. Tell me the secret of the Orient." Now, I know this is a hard transition to make, but I was always taken with how beautiful Aunt Chino looked, still at her age. And she always promised to tell me the secret of the Orient. I just thought this was a good time for her to tell me her beauty secret. So she says, "Okay," and she opens a jar and lathers my face with cold cream, Aunt Chinook? "Shh, just to take too much." And I do. And she says, "Esther, I understand how you feel. When I was a young girl in the Korea, I also have trouble with a father." "Oh, Esther, don't forget the tip of a nose." And she dabbed me. My father and I are so stubborn. No talk, only fighting. Because all my fathers love go to firstborn son. I'm only second best in his eyes. Esther, you and I, same. Only difference is I accept the situation. Esther, don't give up hope for father's love like I did. Too soon, my father died. "Oh, very good, Esther. See? Remember this rule. Okay, Esther, good night. Wait, Aunt Chino, cold cream is the secret to how you stay so young looking? Esther, what do you expect? Magic? Secret of Orient Huruka Young is must have an Oriental pattern. Huruka Young. I said, Aunt Chino, that's it? She turns around and says, Esther, patterns are like a mirror. Look at the patterns. Then you see what kind of a skin you have. I call Martha. Martha, are Daddy and I alike? Yeah. How are we even remotely alike? I don't know. You're both obnoxious, stubborn, aggressive, loud, opinionated. I guess my father and I are a lot alike. I guess I just didn't want to see it. Well, anyway, the day of my father's chin-up comes, and Aunt Gina goes back to my parents' house with my older cousins, and they all start calling me to insist that I come to the chin-up. And I say, stop torturing me. I'm not going. Finally, Aunt Gina gets on the phone. Hello, Esther, you are my favorite niece, so you come to chin-up, okay? Well, Aunt Gina, I already told you I'm not going. Esther, your father loves you very much. Well, he never tells me. I never tell my children I love them, but they know I love them. That's the Korean way. But we live in America. Okay, you are so bad to woman. I am trying to be good to woman. If you don't come to Chingap, I don't love you anymore. Well, Aunt Chinook, now you sound like my father. So conditional. No condition, no nothing. Just to come to Chingap. Well, Aunt Chinook, I don't want to drive all the way to Flushing. So take taxi. I take taxi. And then pray to Jesus. Jesus will help you. And then my mother gets on the phone. Okay, you stone-head barbarian. You are the curse of God. I got to teach you. I got to smash you. And then my Uncle Han gets on the phone. Well, you know, you should go. And then my father gets on. You know me. And that's it. I know you what? You know me. And that was the phone conversation. And I knew what he meant. He meant, you better come, or I will kill you. And after I get off the phone, Alan says to me, Esther, make it easy on yourself. Let's go to the Chinga. Never. Esther, just bend your pride a little. All it would take is for me to sacrifice my pride. I won't do it. And Alan says, Oi, why can't you just say yes? So he's dressed, the kids are dressed, so I say yes, and I go. And Aunt Chinook says, oh, you took a taxi? Oh, you're so good girl. And she goes into her pocketbook to take out money to pay for the trip. And I take it. And then she says, oh, the children, you brought the children. Oh, hara. So I'm wearing my hanbok, the traditional Korean outfit. It's a big skirt up to here, and a stiff bolero type jacket over it. Oh, and it's paid to wear. Because if you've got big boobies like I got, it cuts into the boobies, oh, it's hell. But anyway, so the party begins, and I'm actually having a really good time. Until we have to bow on our knees with our heads to the floor, and I don't want to do it. And she says, just to do the bow, just to do the bow. I say, okay, I'll do the friggin' bow. So my father is sitting in a throne of a wicker chair wearing his traditional outfit. And the ceremony begins. And Uncle Han starts the bowing. Annyeong hashimnika. And my father nods his head slightly in response and says, nah, annyeong hashimnika. And typical Korean males, they're eyeballing each other to see who's bowing lower. Uncle Han is showing my father great respect. And my father is pleased and he says, oh, good bow. You bow, your head is so low. Oh, this is such a good expectation. And then everybody bows low to my father. And my father says, oh, this is so good. Oh, you bow your head up. Oh, good angle. Oh, this is so good. And I'm like, oh, brother. And it's my turn to bow. But my skirt, which is to the floor, is too long. And I trip. But I don't trip like everybody else. I go, oh, oi, oi. And I fall flat on my face at my father's feet. And my father says, yes, yes, this is the lowest of all Mr. Mr. Anna, this is a power. So there, I did the bow. You know what? It was easy. So after the ceremony, I go into the dressing room to take off my hanbok, and just as I get naked, who walks in? But my father. He walks up to me, and he closes the door, and he says, "It's a good thing you came. You did the good. Because if you didn't come, you'd be big trouble. Because you know me." And I'm like, "Yeah?" And he says, "Okay, now you in the whip." And he walks out. And I realized this was the only way my father could tell me he loves me. The fact that I'm in his will, that he's leaving his legacy to me, it was his way of proving it. Well, anyway, I was the hero, and I got a free meal. And then I thought, oh, just a minute. Hello? Oh, Martha, hi. What, Martha, when did you fall? Honey, are you okay? Good, okay, now tell me what happened. Excuse me, Martha, what were you doing in the back of fully dressed? And you couldn't wait for Mom to help you with the new step? Oh, Martha, you are a piece of work. All right, well, all I can say is thank God you had your beeper alarm. Okay, so you've fallen and you can't get up. Martha, how did you get wedged in the tub? You know, this is why I tell you to lose weight. Oh, Martha, please. You got stuck in the bathtub and had to be pried out by the police. By the police, Martha. I would say you have a bit of a weight problem. No, Martha, I'm not being insensitive. I care. I just wish you took better care of yourself. All right, you want me to come over? All right, give me a little time. Oh, wait, Martha, I'm getting another call. Can you hold? Okay, you know, I'll call you before I come. Okay, bye. Hello? Oh, Wendy. Yes, right, the High Holy Days. Yes, I got my ticket. Yeah, thanks for calling. You're a doll. Yes, I know. They're early this year. No, okay, well, go ahead. All right, I'll speak to you later. Bye. You know, when I converted, in order to be legally Jewish after all my studies, I had to go through a ritualistic cleansing ceremony called mikvah. I said to myself, okay, a Jewish baptism, this I can do. Because at a Christian baptism, it's a drop of water on the forehead and a blessing. I said, okay, I'll get a little spritz, I'll be done. And I go into the Midtown mikvah. It's like a bathhouse. And immediately, they make me strip naked. Naked. I don't want to see me naked. Why should anybody else have to? And I can deal with the no makeup, the no jewelry, but no nail polish. Like, that's beyond naked. But anyway, I go down to the pool, and the room is beautiful. Mosaic tile, calm lighting. And I look at the tank, and it's deep. I drown in the shower, and I'm scared. But you know how you gotta do something? Like you gotta eat, you gotta breathe. I had to convert. So I relax, and I go in. And it was the most beautiful, warm water I ever felt in my life. Like I was in my mother's womb. And after I finish with mikvah, I feel great. And then, in one conversion, I inherit every paranoid, neurotic tendency that Jews have taken thousands of years to perfect. And then I feel like something's missing. Bat mitzvah. love it? Can I have 5 bags of it? Hi, this is Martha. Hello, Esther? This is Martha. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, do you want me to bring you the walker, or do you want me to mail it to your house? Bye. Hello. Oh, hi, Mom. Well, Merry Christmas Eve to you, too. No, Ma, I already told you I'm busy New Year's Day. Something? No, we will not discuss it later. Mom! All right, I'm making turkey and mashed potatoes and cornbread. No, Ma, don't bring rice and kimchi. All right, then, bring your seaweed and squid casserole. All right, now hurry up. Come here soon. All right, and don't forget my present. Okay, bye. Thanks for the holiday plankton, Mom. Oh, my whole wacky family's coming over for Christmas Eve dinner. And all I want to do is study for my bat mitzvah, which is next week. Oh, I'm very excited about it, but I'm just a little bit tense. You see, at first I thought having a bat mitzvah was easy. I met with the cantor, and he put me on a course of study, and I found learning Hebrew pretty easy. Here. Baruch et Adonai hamavarach. Baruch Adonai hamavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. And then I noticed why Hebrew was so easy for me to learn. It's very similar to Korean. They're both languages of coughing and spitting. Here, in Hebrew class I learned Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. And in Korean school I learned 아이고 지금 저는 기쁩니다. 많이 친지 잡수세요. It means the same thing. So the cantor gives me my Torah portion. Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. And then he gives me my Haftorah portion. Haftorah is the thing I'll read from the book of the Proverbs. It could be from Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah. And then he tells me that I have to memorize it by myself, a cappella, in front of the entire congregation. And I start to get nervous. But not because I don't think I can do it. I just don't think I could do it in the time that I have left. And at that point, my bat mitzvah was only 2 months away. And that's a lot to do on top of being a wife and a mother and being tortured by my family. But I got to. So I buckled down, and little by little, I'm memorizing everything. And so to be sure I'm doing it the right way, I go to all the other kids' bar mitzvah services to see how it's done. And they're doing their Haftorah portion so fast, it sounds like one hysterical run-on sentence. I can't understand a word. So I figure this is how it's done. And I start doing my Haftorah portion like Mario Andretti. And then my friend Sharon Bernstein comes over yesterday to see how I'm practicing. Oh, Sharon and I are very close. She thinks I'm thin, and I think she's a natural blonde. But Sharon says to me, "No, Esther, wait. You worked too hard for this moment. Slow down. Savor it. Savor the music. Sing your Haftorah portion like it's a song." And then she wished me luck. So I went back to the tape of the cantor singing my Haftorah portion. Avahim Yisharesh Yaakov. Oh, and it's so beautiful the way he sings it. So sad and wailing. And I can feel all the Jewish suffering to which I relate to because I still have Korean feminine virtue in my genes. But Sharon was right. Next week, at my bat mitzvah, I will sing my song to God. Look, I'm coming. great news. Oh, I thought you weren't. Oh, no, I know, believe me. I didn't want to have it on New Year's Day. But that's all they had. It was either New Year's Day or Christmas. And I know you're busy on Christmas Day. Listen, I'm busy on Christmas Day. Everybody, even Jews, are busy on Christmas Day. Oh, but I'm so glad you're coming. Oh, wait, Sally, I'm getting another call. Can you hold? Oh, okay. All right, then I'll see you Saturday. 10 a.m. Okay. Be on time. Bye. Hello? Oh, Martha, how come you're calling me? You should be here already. Oh, Martha, how are you today? How's your handicap? Oh, okay then. All right, then I'll see you later. No, I'm not going. I told you already. Did my mother tell you to call me? Because I'm busy. Martha, look, I'm cooking. I'll talk to you when you get here, but not about that. Oh, and Martha. Oh, I got the walker. Martha, it's beautiful. Yes, it has wheels. Yes, I'm going to use it to learn to rollerblade. Yeah, okay, so I'll see you later. Okay, hurry. Bye. You know, I think the thing that's stressing me out the most is that my whole family's coming over for Christmas dinner, and I haven't invited any of my family to my bat mitzvah yet. Oh, I haven't even mentioned anything. I don't think my holy roller Christian family will exactly approve. I mean, they don't even know I'm Jewish. Trust me, this is tough. But my parents, I mean, they're totally clueless. They've never even been to a bar mitzvah. My father asked me once, Esther, what do Jewish boys get when they're 13? Matzah ball? I mean, a part of me really wants them there, but can you just imagine what it would be like if they were there? My mother whining to my father, why the mitzvah? John, what kind of a language is this? How come she doesn't speak English? Oh, Esther, can we sing Jesus Arabami now? And then my father sitting there stone-faced. Hello? Oh, Dad. Well, yeah, I do know you, Dad. Dad, you're coming over for dinner. Can we save it till then? Okay, bye. You know, they don't even know I'm having a bat mitzvah, and they're still driving me crazy. This whole thing started over, why don't I go to church anymore? And now it's because they wanted to come to church next Sunday on New Year's Day to help celebrate my father's 50 years of church service. And I would go, but I can't. I can't tell them why. I can't exactly say, oh, it's because I'm Jewish and I'm having bat mitzvah, which you are cordially not invited to. So I haven't given them an answer. And they're all angry. And they're all torturing me. I mean, even my sisters are calling me to come Saturday. My sister Mary calls me and says, Esther, you really should go. Daddy's thing is special. It's once in a lifetime. I said, but I can't. I'm busy. With what? I have a bat mitzvah. Whose? You don't know her. Somebody I don't know is more important than our father. Well, she's the most important person on this planet. Not more important than your husband or children. Yes, that day she is. You are the most selfish, shallow person on earth. Click. That's right. Goodbye. You know, my friend Mia, my Korean friend Mia, says I should just tell my family the truth and invite them. That they will understand. No, that's a nice idea. But Mia's on Prozac. No, I'm kidding. But I said to her, Mia, I really feel that my father seeing me Jewish in bat mitzvah would be as hurtful to him as a rabbi's daughter being baptized. So Mia said, but Esther, the happiness that you have on your special day will overshine your father's objections, and he will feel your spiritual passion and understand. Like I said, Mia's doing the drug. Then Mia quotes me some old Korean adage. She says, Esther, in Korean tradition, it says that the great oak breaks in the wind while the reed bends. Esther, your bat mitzvah is so important. If you bend, your father will bend too. Invite them. I said to Mia, I don't trust my father enough. I don't feel it. I don't feel that my father will appreciate the way I take joy in God. Mia says, you both worship God. Your father does it Christian, you do it Jewish. It's still joy in God. And anyway, your father accepts your husband, and he's Jewish. Adam says, Esther, this is your day. Do whatever you want. But Mia says, Esther, it says in the Bible to honor thy mother and thy father. Yeah, but God doesn't want me to be a schmuck. That's when I realized I'd grown hard. I told me I'd think about it. And I did. I want to be selfish. Mom, Dad, Martha, Mary, Joan. I'm having my bat mitzvah. And I'm sorry, but it's my party. You're not invited. Oh, I know what you're all thinking. I look like a chia pet. Oh, I'm so glad I'm here tonight because I had the worst week. I had my first mammogram. Oh, that was intense. You know what they did? They took my boobies, they put them between two glass plates, and they squashed them flat. My nipples popped right off. Because of that, you know what my bra size is now? 38 long. You know who invented the mammogram, right? A man. That's why I say, if women have to have mammograms, men should have scrotograms. Now I realize I'm going to have to lose weight because my husband Alan leaves the toilet seat up, and lately I haven't noticed. Now my mother is very thin because she eats a lot of sushi. Oh, she loves that raw, slimy, squirmy kind of food, which is fine, except I can never take her fishing. She always eats the bait. Yes. Oh, geez, I can't remember this. My next line, and so, okay. See, my mother comes from a small, backward Korean village. Her village is so backward, running water means you carry the bucket fast. Now, growing up, whenever my mother gave me a gift, if I like it, she'd say, oh yeah? Oh, I like it too. And then she'd take it back. So finally one year I got smart. I asked for toilet paper. Now my mother gives me toilet paper for everything. Birthdays, holidays. I haven't bought toilet paper in 15 years. Every time I use it, I think of her. Now my father, the minister, wanted me to be a traditional Korean Christian girl who answers every question like this. Oh, I don't know. Oh, jeez, I cannot remember this. Oh, God, I'm so nervous. Tonight's my first set at Caroline's, you know, the comedy club. I'm doing comedy because with my background, what else am I going to do? Of course, my parents don't approve. Because to them, being in show business is the same as being a prostitute. My father asked me, who taught you to do the show business? I said, you did that. You do a new show every Sunday, 52 weeks a year. Oh, excuse me. Oh, heels. Who invented this? I came from a wheelchair. Now I'm walking on heels. Hey. Hello? Oh, you're kidding. What's wrong? Oh, okay, good. Well, tell Isaac I say no. Tell Jacob I say no, too. Tell them Mommy is not in the mood. Yes, okay. Well, I'll tell them about it tomorrow. Okay, bye. Oh, that's my nanny. Nanny's taking my kids over to their cousin's house so I can do this tonight. You know, ever since I started with stand-up, I needed help with my kids. So I hired an incredibly beautiful, gorgeous, Jewish, Gay French nanny, Victor. Victor lives with us. Oh, he's so good. My house has never been cleaner. You know, at the dinner table, he taught my kids to stand up, pull my chair up for me to sit and say, "Bonsoir, maman, je t'aime beaucoup." And last week, Victor said, "Tonight, I will make crap. What kind of crap do you want?" I said, "Victor, what's crap?" "You know, crap Suzanne, crap with chicken de vin." "Oh, crepes. Oui, crap." The only problem with Victor is that he has a couple of issues with his sexuality. So I say, "Oh, Victor, you're gay. Get over yourself. Who cares? Who cares? Be gay and proud. Be gay, 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 gay." And Victor says to me, "Well, what about you, Esther? Are you proud of everything about you?" "Yes, sure." "What? Are you proud of your handicap? And of your weight? And of your crazy family? And your crutches?" "My crutches?" "Wait, your crutches. Oh, my crutches." "Wait, are you proud of all that?" Well, so in a short time, Victor has helped me learn to accept, well, no, to love myself. And I think I've helped him too. We've become family. We really love each other unconditionally. Hello? Oh, hi, Kinderbarnissen. Oh, did you get the picture? Good. Aren't they great? Oh, please, it was all thanks to you anyway. Oh, I know, it was a gorgeous day. Yeah, I was so happy. Yeah, people said I laughed like a lunatic. Well, because I've done it. Because thanks to you, that day, my bat mitzvah day, I could sing my song to God. Oh, really, was I? Oh, I thank you, Kendra. All right, I'll see you Saturday. Okay, bye. Oh, my bat mitzvah day was incredible. Well, at least for me. Because that day, I released my parents, and I became an adult. And then I cried. Well, from joy. I think it was the best New Year's Day of my life. Oh, and I celebrate so many. I have the regular New Year's, I have the Chinese New Year's, and now I got the Jewish New Year's. I can't keep up with all my resolutions, but I got a lot of chances to try. Oh, and now I'm trilingual. I read English left to right, Hebrew right to left, Korean up and down. I'm busy. Hello? Oh, hi, Martha. Wait, sis, why are you crying again? Mommy called you fat? You were wedged in a tub and you don't think you're fat? Listen, you're fat. Martha, I'm fat. Let's face it, we are fat. Sis, I know she hurt your feelings. She was just trying for you to take better care of yourself. That doesn't mean Mommy doesn't love you. Of course she loves you. He does. Daddy loves us too. Well, in his own way. I know Daddy loves me. I'm in the will. No, Martha, he does love you. Because he told me. Last year when he had his heart attack and he thought he was going to die, because he called me to his room, he was lying in the hospital, and you know how Daddy talks. He said, "Esther, just in love with your children. Don't fight or beating or yelling at them." Yeah, I know, that was a surprise to me too. So I said, "Why, Dad?" He said, "It's not good for health." I said, "Yeah, Dad, I know. I didn't feel good when you did that to me." And you know how Daddy talks. He said, "No, it's not good for my health. My blood pressure goes so high." And anyway, I didn't teach you or Martha anything that way. I should just have loved you. Esther, I'm sorry I give you pain. You and Martha same like me. When I saw your handicap, I saw mine. And I didn't know what to do. Now come here, you stupid idiot, and give your father a hug. Yeah, I know, Martha. Why does everybody wait so long to tell us these things? But I'm telling you now, see? Martha, you feeling better? Okay, good, because I got a show. Yeah, Caroline. Yeah, I got her. Okay, I love you. Bye. You know, I always had such gaps with my parents. I had the age gap, the cultural gap, the language gap. As I get older, the gaps are getting smaller. Ooh. You know, I used to think my mother was weak and stupid, and sometimes she was. And because of that, we always fought. And I'd always wind up screaming, "Okay, Mom, make just like I'm dead to you," when I'd storm out of the house and disappear for days. Oh, it was that red-hot, spicy Korean blood. Aunt Chinook used to always defend her to me. Just recently, she told me that everybody would say to my mother, "Oh, just listen to Esther and make like she's dead to you. You have 3 other daughters." And my mother would say, "But I have 10 fingers. If I lose 1 finger, that's the one I want the most." And she'd search and not sleep for days sometimes until she found me. I guess she's not that weak or that stupid. You know, people ask me, "Esther, why did you want to be Jewish? Why did you go through mikvah? Why did you convert? Why did you have bat mitzvah? Why did you stand up?" Well, I say to them, well, you have to ask Abraham or Moses or Joe Rivers why they did what they did. God led us. He opened the door, we went through. You know, the other day, Victor and I and the kids were at a Korean store, and the grocer asked me if my kids were Korean. I said, yes, half. And my kid said, "Mommy, we're not Korean, we're Jewish. You're not Korean, you're Jewish." That's when I realized that somewhere along the line, me trying to be an American Jewess, I forgot about my Korean identity. Victor said to me, "Esther, you're Korean? I thought you were a Nordic Swede." "Esther, of course you are Korean. Wake up, look in the mirror. You're Korean and American and Jewish. They're all you. Love them all. Ooh la la." So I said to Victor, "Thank you, Victor. You are the victor of my life." And Victor said to me, "No, Esther. You are the victor of your life." So that's me, Esther the victor. And I'm Korean, I'm Jewish, I'm American, I'm loud, I'm funny, I'm Oriental, not Asian. I'm handicapped, not handy-capable. My wheelchair is not an enabling chair. And I'm fat, not plump. And whether I like it or not, I'm just like my father and my mother, and that's good. Oh my God, and I'm late. Oh geez. All right, wait a minute. I'm never gonna memorize this. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So now my father was terrified that I would never get married because I didn't want to get married. I said to him, "Dad, I don't want to be tied down by one guy. I want to be tied down by 3 guys." But Alan asked me to marry him, and he gave me a diamond engagement ring, so small. You see these eyes? I'm not really Oriental. I got these eyes squinting, looking for the diamond. But I fell in love with Alan, and my father said that I could marry him. Jeez. Hello? Oh, Martha. Yeah, hi. Listen, Martha, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. Martha, can we talk about this later? I'm rushed here now. No, I don't mean it that way, Martha. Martha, listen. Listen! You know, Martha, life sucks sometimes, and you just gotta deal. No, that's not true. I'm no different or better than anybody else. No, the reason I am out of the wheelchair and you aren't is because, you know, Martha, you never even tried. You just sat in the wheelchair where you thought you were safe and protected, and now look at you. Well, so it's scary. You know, Dr. Geller even says you can get out of the wheelchair. Martha, you gotta fight. We love you, but you gotta love yourself. Just get up. Get up and out of the wheelchair into the fire. And Martha, do you know your biggest wheelchair is the one that's in your brain? Get rid of that one, and you'll have a wonderful life. Now, Martha, I love you, but I gotta go. I gotta do a show. I gotta make people laugh. Goodbye. Why does she always do this when I'm late at notice? Hello, Martha. This is Esther. Martha, I'm sorry. I yell at you because I love you. You know, Martha, I can't speak for everybody, but do you know what I figured out? When I feel good about myself, I give love. I get love back more. And then I don't feel handicapped. I think that's my secret. Martha, do you remember our favorite Sunday school song? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Good, you remember. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Come on, hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, Martha, you're a beautiful light. You just gotta stop hiding under a bushel. Martha, can I go now? Thanks. Oh, and Martha, you know what I'm giving you for Christmas? Rollerblades. Okay, I'll see you later. Yeah, okay, I'll call you after the show. All right, I love you too. Bye. Shine all over New Jersey, I'm gonna let it shine. Shine all over New York City, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna go to Caroline's and I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna go to Caroline's and I'm gonna shine, gonna shine.